Okay, so this is my sprint 1 video. I'm gonna go ahead and run, see what we have. So we have player movement in all directions with the WASD keys. As you can see, do not go off the screen. On the bottom, the right, come on, buddy. The top or the right. Right now the player area is limited to 5 rows, but that can be changed. As you can see, I am colliding with mushrooms. It's a bit not perfect because you kind of bounce back right now, but I'll work on that. Another thing, firing bullets. You can only fire, there's only one bullet alive at a time. When you hit a mushroom, I did go ahead and implement the mushroom health, so it goes down to 0, and if you hit a mushroom all the way, you no longer collide with it. I think that's all I gotta show. Okay, in terms of the code setup, in terms of the code setup, the game starts, it starts with a new thing called a game scene. I have the big 4 defined for all of my classes. A lot of them are just default, but they are there. In the game scene, we create a player controller and a mushroom field. The idea behind the mushroom field, or start with that, is it's a 2D vector array. It's not perfect right now because I am dynamically pushing back mushrooms into the array, which is dumb because I know I have the dimensions. Like, the dimensions are constant. I don't need it to be dynamic, but I just had trouble implementing that. So anyway, right now it is pushed back. I'll work on that. Basically, it loops through the rows and the columns. It calls this little function, mushroom or no mushroom, which is kind of this random number generator that uses this probability constant, which I do have this header file for all of the game constants, so they can be easily edited. Anyway, back to the mushroom field. It calls that, and if it is true, it adds a new mushroom to the vector 2D array, and if it's not, it just adds a null. And then, yeah, keeping track of where to place the mushrooms as we go, yada yada yada. When you destroy the mushroom field, you need to delete all the mushrooms in there, so I did that. What else? Let's go to keyboard. So I tried to do what we talked about in class, where we had like a separate a player controller separate from that manages the input separate from the blaster. So we have the keys defined up here, so that can be changed, and then it's checking for key presses, and then it calls the movement functions using the reference to the blaster that it has. So what else about the blaster? I have this movement clamp function, which clamps the movement every time you move to make sure you're in the right area. For firing, I basically just have this boolean that goes on and off, telling if you can fire. I have this collision with the mushroom so that it only stops moving if the mushroom is actually dead. Because I'm not actually destroying mushrooms, I'm just... when their health reaches 4 basically means death, so I just stop drawing them. But I don't want to destroy them because, you know, you need to restore them later when you, like, restore all the mushrooms. What else? Bullets is pretty simple. It kind of has 2 modes. It's either following the blaster, because most of the time it's just like sitting right on top of the blaster going wherever it goes, so that's just following the blaster movement with this offset, or it's moving around, or it's just moving straight up after you fired it. And then when it collides with the mushroom, once again it's checking the mushroom health. It turns firing off, starts following the blaster again, updates the blaster can fire, and then does the mushroom bullet hit, which is this function right here, which adds health to the mushroom. So the mushroom health goes from 0, which is full health, to 4, which is dead. And then it sets the frame to the appropriate thing. So I think I covered everything. Sorry if that was a bit long. I'll get better at it. But yeah, I think we're good to go.